I want to just have a quick look at the units of area conversions. And the important part of this is to recognise that we're dealing with area, not length. So that when we're converting from, say, millimetres squared to centimetres squared, our conversion factor has been squared as well. So now we're up to 100 millimetres squared in a centimetre squared. Now I've drawn a square centimetre down below here to give you an idea of size. So a square centimetre here is 10 millimetres by 10 millimetres. So its area, which I know is 1 square centimetre, that's why I drew it, is actually equal to that 10 by 10, 10 millimetres by 10 millimetres. And we know 10 tens are 100. So that gives me that conversion factor of a centimetre squared is equal to 100 millimetres squared. Now up here, next one, centimetres squared to metres squared, I've got a conversion factor of 10,000. So let's have a look at where that comes from. So here's a square metre, and it's quite a large space a square metre is. And when you look at a square metre, what you end up getting is you end up getting, obviously, the square sides that are a metre long. And a metre is 100 centimetres. So this side along here is 100 centimetres. This side along here is 100 centimetres. So to calculate the area of my square metre, to give you a bit of a size, there's my pen, just drop that down in there. See, it's quite a large space. I take the 100 times by 100, and that gives me 10,000 square centimetres. So that's where that conversion factor comes into play when we're working there. Now I haven't tried to draw up a square kilometre because it's quite a large area, but a square kilometre would be a kilometre by a kilometre, which is 1,000 metres by 1,000 metres. And when you multiply by 1,000 by 1,000, you end up with 1,000,000. So there's 1,000,000 square metres in a square kilometre. That's quite a large amount of area. That's useful for measuring areas, say, size of Port Macquarie or the size of New South Wales or the size of Australia. More commonly, when we're talking about our land measurements, we're going to work in hectares. Hectares is a unit of measurement for a larger box of land. And 1 hectare is defined as 10,000 square metres. So that's approximately 2 football fields side by side. Not perfectly, but approximately 2 football fields side by side to give you an idea of what 1 hectare may look like. Okay, so we've got this in our measurement toolbox already. We now know that the units of conversion are just the length units, but they've been squared. So they're different. So we've got 100, 10,000, and million. Let's just have a look at some quick conversions. So let's say if I had to convert 5.6 square centimetres to square millimetres. I'll refer back over here. I'm at square centimetres. I want to follow the arrow back to square millimetres. It takes me past this time sign. So I want to multiply by 100. So over here I'm just simply showing as my working out 5.6 times 100. That's 560 square millimetres. Okay. If I wanted to convert something larger, like 320,000 square metres, and I want to take that to square kilometres, again, back over to my conversion caterpillar, square metres, follow it through to square kilometres, division by million. So I want to take 320,000 and divide it by 1,000,000, which involves moving the decimal place 6 places to, because it's division, to the left. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to move it back 6 places, end up in front. 0.32 square kilometres. If I'm working in hectares, so if I go something like 15.6 hectares, and I want to change that to square metres, back over here, hectares, follow the arrow back to square metres, takes me past the times, 10,000. So that's 15.6 times 10,000. 4 zeros, 4 decimal place movements to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of these has a 0 underneath it. 156,000 square metres. Sometimes you may have to do something like go from 2,500,000 square millimetres to square meters. And if I want to do something like that, I see over here I've got to go square millimeters first to square centimeters, then to square millimeters. Following the arrows takes me past the division, 110,000. So I'm going to go 250,000, sorry, 2,500,000 divided by 100, firstly, and then divide by 10,000. 100, move it back 2 places. 10,000, move it back another 4. 2.5 square meters. Okay, good luck with those conversions.